Hello and welcome to another AIC video about my Jeep Wagoneer. I've been slowly plugging away at it. Weather's kind of started to cool off a little bit, but this last week I was really busy with other stuff, and so I only got a few things done. Looking to get some more done. So, first things first, I posted a video a day or two ago about doing some motor mounts on my Jeep. So, yep, I got those done. Daystars. Put a link in the description for those. They're just a better design overall. I don't know if these are of any quality. I'm not familiar with the brand that much, but should be a better quality or more reliable than the factory style of motor mounts, since they tend to just like to crack. So that, unfortunately, that took me like 2 days worth of work. Of course, I mean, I'm only out here for an hour or two at a time messing with it just because it's so hot. But yeah, but while I was working on that, I noticed this disaster. Oh, let me get some better light on there. So, what say ye? What does that look like? Do I have a leaking thermostat housing? Did they throw some sort of... I'm trying to get some light on that. Throw some gunk in there. For sealing, is my upper radiator hose cracked? Yeah, tell me what you think, what that crap is. Anyways, let's move on. Had a ton of packages show up this week. First things first, I got those guys down there. Those are for the vents. Those are broken. My next step that I'm going to work on probably this week is putting the dash back together. So I got those to go in it because the vents that I have are broken. So they're not going to be like, they still have this like shiny metal ring around them, but it's mostly rubbed off on most of them. So, and the light I'm using is my Stanley light I got at Walmart. This is a really nice light. I mean, they're really cheap, like they're not well made, but they give off a lot of good light. Anywho, this showed up and I was super stoked about this, but it's for the wrong kind of gearing that I have, and I'm not going to re-gear it this time. So, goodbye. I got to return it, get something else instead. I'm really sad. It's a Yukon zip locker, but it's for my front. It's for my Dana 30. But this is for if you have 3.73 gears or numerically higher, and my Jeep is geared for 3.55, so it doesn't work. And they don't sell one, or at least Yukon doesn't, for the 3.55. So I'm looking at other options for that, which is good because I'm looking at an Eaton, which is an electronic locker. I don't really have a place for an air compressor under the hood with the way things are set up, so an e-locker makes a little bit more sense on that. The other option is an aux locker. If you have opinions there, I'll take them. Next things that showed up is these. These are our wing mirrors. So the wing mirrors I have are broken. This is just plastic fatigue. They just clip in with plastic there, and yeah, it's just plastic fatigue has failed on those. Unfortunately, I couldn't find powered ones that had the chrome on the back, and so they're just plain black. I'll keep the chrome ones around if I ever feel like it, tearing these apart and putting on chrome ones, or putting the chrome on. I don't know. Well, we'll figure that out. These are wheel bearing units for the front. The reason why I have these is because I'm going to be doing some other work. I'll show you what those parts here in a second, but it's like 4 more bolts per side to take these off and replace them. So I'm just going to do it. I have no idea what condition the ones in the front are, but I'm just going to replace them because it makes sense to. And what I'm doing is this. These are Yukon axles. So for the Dana 30. And what it is, I'm getting rid of the vacuum hub system on here. So the one shaft is the full shaft, shaft. Giggity. This is a full axle shaft, and we're going to replace that. It should have in the box all the stuff needed to block, blocking plate and the seals and stuff. We'll see if they're in here. I'm going to check that a little bit later. And that's why I have the wheel bearings, because I'm going to be right there anyways. So the goal is to do this at the same time I put the front lift kit on. I also have coming a new rear main seal. Oh, let's go to the front while I talk about that. So when I was replacing the motor mount, is up underneath this guy, I noticed that this adapter for the oil filter is leaking. So there's oil on the bottom of the oil filter and all over. I mean, you just see it's just caked in gunk because it's been leaking. And so I have new O-rings for this coming, a new main seal, a new oil pan, because the oil pan is just dented to hell, and back again. So I have new oil pan, because when I go to take that off to replace the gasket, I'll probably bend it some more. So I have a new pan, new gasket, new O-rings for this, a new gasket for the transmission pan and filter for that as well. So I'll be doing a transmission fluid change on the transmission. So the one thing I'm probably going to do is get like a power washer or whatever, because it's really clean underneath there as far as like zero rust, but like the rear diff has been leaking and it's a disgusting mess. I can't even show it to you because it's sagging so bad in the back. I have to crawl on the ground too much to get to it, but everything looks like that, just caked in. Ugh. So that's going to be fun to do. And I think that's it for now. Oh, the seats. That isn't it for now. We got the stupid seats. So let's come here. Put my light up over here. There we go. All right. So I bought, I'm gonna cover this in another video. I bought these brackets from Corbu, and they just didn't work with my seats. So these are kind of a waste of money. I'm sad I bought them, not because they weren't well made and Corbu didn't make. They're meant for their seats and not other seats. So if you buy these brackets, buy them because you bought Corbu seats, or seats that have the exact same bolt pattern as Corbu's. But what I'm doing is, you can see I've chopped it up, zipped those off, and I'm making my own bracket, kind of. I'm going to use those. I'm going to bolt the feet into the Jeep. I've shortened them to the length I want them to be, and then I'm going to set this on top of those in the Jeep and figure out where they hit, where I want the seat to be, mark that up. And I live right down the street from a place that builds custom Jeeps. They said they'd weld it up for me, but I gotta get the Jeep kind of back together. So that's probably going to be the next thing. I'm going to get the dash back together. I'm going to mock up this. I'm going to mock up the passenger. This is driver's side. Mock up the passenger side, drive it over, and drop it off, and have them weld these up for me. Right now, these are actually bolted to the seat, but they're going to weld here and then up underneath as well. So it should be good and sturdy and strong, and then we'll go from there. So anyways, that's what I got going on. You got any questions, comments, thoughts? Oh, every time I get it, I have one inside I need to grab, but every time I'm getting a magnet from my orders, they're going to go on the Jeep while I build it. So if you have a magnet, you want to send it to me? Sure, why not? But yeah, that's what we got going on. I'm totally off on my week's updates. I think this is 5, but I've only had it 4 weeks. I don't know. I got off the count somewhere. Anyways, that's that. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, leave those down in the comment section down below. Do my best to answer those. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.